and its causes. May all beings always be free of pain and its causes. For as long as space abides, as long as the world remains, just so long may I be there, resolving all beings' pain. It's the nature of my personality um, not to like to repeat things. So I was thinking about how I would talk about meditation this morning. That would be a little different from the way that I've talked about it on other occasions. Um, and so meditation is a skill, and it's a skill that traditionally has been used in the religious and spiritual traditions to allow people to get in touch with either their relationship with the divine, which would be a kind of Western Semitic, in the Judeo-Christian, Islamic lineages, meditation would be for opening up towards God. And in the Asian traditions, meditation has been used both to relate to God, but also to relate to the nature of reality. And there are those uses, and if you are a prayerful or faithful person, certainly any skills that you develop in meditation will be useful in your prayerful life. And there are some less specifically religious or spiritual uses that we can use meditation for. And especially in this day and age, you know, Anne and I have sort of blessed insofar as we started our involvement with Buddhism about 45 years ago, 50 years ago. Gulp. Yikes. And in a way, part of the wonder of all of that was we could still meet some folks who, let's say our teacher Adzam Rinpoche, who we'll be showing a message from today, when he first came here about 15 years ago, he really was arriving from like the 14th century. I mean, it was pretty shocking both to him and to us. And I do like to repeat this story. We went to I don't know if it's no longer there. There used to be a buffet in the village. Now there's a Japanese restaurant where that buffet used to be. And so, you know, people would take food, and most people take 4 times as much food as they eat. And so we went to that buffet, and, you know, we were sitting there, and it was maybe his second day in the United States, and he's looking around, and there are all these tables, and there are these plates filled with food that people have walked away from. And you could tell he was just sort of thinking, like, how could I get that into boxes and get that into Tibet? I mean, it was just so, you know, just being able to look at our society and our culture and our habits through someone else's eyes was kind of eye-opening, and to recognize that really from everything we're wasting, I mean, a lot of people that he knew could actually benefit. And it was kind of heartbreaking as well. And so, 14th century Tibet was a lot slower place, and meditation is even slower than that. And, I think about our lifestyle and, think about me, for example, at night. I'm on my exercycle. I'm watching something on the TV. I'm reading. Maybe I'm even taking a phone call. And I don't think I'm that unusual. Maybe there are one or two more things that maybe some of you can do while you're doing your exercise. And it's even got a great phrase that you'll read about in modern magazines that praise it, multitasking, but then the neuroscientists are finding out we're probably cracking our brain cells by doing it. But I think we all know that we sort of go through life like little, skipping stones on the surface of a lake. I hope everybody's had a chance to do that sometime in their life. Just we're sort of flitting on the surface of things. And a kind of curse of the flitting on the surface of things approach to life is that within that life vision, you actually come to believe that more flitting will be more satisfying. It's like crazy. And so we actually flit more, and we bring more stuff into our lives, and we think that's going to be more satisfying. And, I'll buy more, and I'll own more, and I'll get more complicated, and I'll do 3 things. I'll have my tablet and my phone, and, and I can do so many things. And, if we take a breath and it's like, how is my life going? It's like, first of all, who am I? And what do I feel? I can't feel anything. I'm just so distracted. And if we were to talk about, and is there the presence of God in your life, or the presence of the divine? Are you saturated with fulfillment? You would say, hey bro, what you talking about? I mean, that's not the way people are experiencing themselves or experiencing life. And so in some ways, when we're talking about meditation and teaching meditation, we're teaching something in a way that's countercultural to what we're about nowadays. But it's also a tremendous and significant corrective to everything we tend to be engaged with. And so the miracle of meditation is that, in a way, everything that we're looking for is in the present moment. If we have a capacity to slow down enough, feel down enough, and be with ourselves enough to allow ourselves to experience that. It's kind of easy to say, it's a little bit harder to do. So we teach a very, very simple practice in order to open the gateways to such experience. We teach actually 2 practices on Sundays. One is just a simple placing our attentions on our breath and then resting in the process of breathing. And we'll do that for a few minutes. And we follow that by chanting the syllables hung, hung. And this is a practice brought to us by our teacher, Adzom Rinpoche. This is a blessed practice. And in both, all we're trying to do is be with our experience. Some people think, oh, I'm going to start to meditate, I'm not going to have any thoughts. Wrong. You're going to have plenty of thoughts. In fact, you may feel you have more thoughts, because part of what happens when we start paying attention is we actually start noticing what we're actually experiencing. It'd be kind of like running into a building that's full of smoke and like really running very, very fast and really, really being focused on your running. And then somebody's saying, okay, just stop for a second. And you stop. And you say, hey man, this room, this house, this building is full of smoke. Well, yeah, but you were running through it, so you didn't notice. Most of us are running through our experience to such an anesthetized extent, we don't know how churned up we are all of the time. So we say, okay, we're just going to stop and see if there's smoke in our building. And many people actually say, I started meditating and man, I was even more disturbed than when I sat down. Well, you're not more disturbed. It's just you stopped and you start noticing the smoke you're living in. No blame and no problem. It's just part of the process. But the skill we're developing is one of attention, and attention allows us to focus and bring us into the present and to settle. And over time, there may be some settling and quieting. But as you're being with your breath and resting with the breath, don't be upset. If there are thoughts, there are feelings, it's fine. And if your mind goes completely away and you're off on the big shopping trip to Kroger's or wherever in the Galleria, when you're through with it and you remember that you're here meditating, just bring your attention back and settle on your breath. And similarly with the meditation on Hung Hung, we are trying to unite our attention and our breath with the syllable and the sound, and that's it. We're just trying to be in the sound. Other stuff comes and goes, it comes and goes. Don't pay it any mind. So we'll do that now. We'll start with a meditation on the breath, and we will move to Hung Hung when I ring. So just allow yourself to sit comfortably straight, your chin a little tucked. And just find where it's comfortable for you to be able to place your attention on the breathing and then rest in the breath. So this is really becoming one with your breathing. And just allow yourself to sense that experience of being in your breathing. And when we'll conclude this part, I'll just ring gently and we'll move into the Hung Hung practice. Om. with the regular practice of attention, we can arrive at a certain kind of clarity, a certain kind of presence that allows even the simple moments of life to be richer and more fulfilling. We might, on occasion, approach a kind of understanding, and I think it may be a William Blake line or something like a William Blake line, of appreciating how one might be able to experience heaven in a grain of sand. We will take about a 10-minute break in which we socialize and there are some refreshments.
Dear human body, impermanence besets. Do you not fear your death, good and faithful student? The 5 skandhas gather and disperse who knows when. Heartily think on death, good and faithful student. Karma never deceives, so give up wrongful thoughts. Engage Dharma wholly. I ask precious 3 gems from deep in my pained heart. See me with compassion. I have no other hope. This dear human body, impermanence besets. Do you not fear your death, good and faithful student? The 5 skandhas gather and disperse who knows when. Heartily think on death, good and faithful student. Karma never deceives, so give up wrongful thoughts. engage Dharma holy. I ask precious three gems from deep in my pained heart. See me with compassion. I have no other hope. This dear human body, impermanence besets. Do you not fear your death, good and faithful student? The five skandhas gather and disperse who knows when. Heartily think on death, good and faithful student. Karma never deceives, so give up wrongful thoughts. Engage Dharma holy. I ask precious three gems from deep in my pained heart. See me with compassion. I have no other hope. This dear human body, impermanence besets. Do you not fear your death, good and faithful student? The 5 skandhas gather and disperse who knows when. Heartily think on death, good and faithful student. Karma never deceives, so give up wrongful thoughts. Engage Dharma wholly.
Are there people coming down the hall, Paolo, or are we all here? They are. All right.
Here, dear.
Thank you. So this is kind of a special moment for us, a special day for us. We are having our first, I think, retreat here this weekend, since we've moved here. And also we reserved this time to share with you a short message from our teacher, Adzom Rinpoche, who lives in Tibet. Many of you have heard us talk about him. And we were able to visit with him briefly because he came down from Tibet into China in July and the very beginning of August, and he sent us a personal message for Dawn Mountain. So we want to share that with you, and then we will close with our meditation. Is that good?
Translate his first comments, which were...
Yes, the very first thing he said, we will, you give me a moment to do that after he, do it right now?
I'm about to start.
Okay, the first thing he says, which I missed when I was translating it in the moment, he says, "I'm looking at you with big eyes." That's the first thing he says.
Mami coba tahu tu.
I'm looking
Hello,
with
hello,
big
how
eyes.
are you? Tene, tanduling choma lange tahidere kiudo.
So I'm sending my greetings to all of you at Tundabling, which is the name for Dawn Mountain.
Hedayo, ane zenda, nojala ni. Ane shane la so ba ni ba. Mo yao hira
So Big Zen, Namgyal, Harvey, Sharon, and any of the old students are doing really well.
Yenza, ane chana lama zenda. Lama. 남자 근데 여래 저렇게 여자이나 저도 야구쳐요
And since you have with you Lama Rinzin and Lama Namgyal, say Harvey and me, you can practice really well, and do your practice well, accomplish it well.
근데 인자네 ngakul homa nibare soma
They are my old students, long-time students.
데인데 아니 샤렌 야구시라 여래
And also Sharon is very good.
기겐 야구시에서도
She can be a good teacher.
근데 인자 아니 차도 소화 통제 루루시 휴조 야구시라 농효아
And all of you really get together and give it your best energy, give it force, and things will go really, really well.
나그sem드나 여래
My mind is there with you.
채나서 예매바래
We are indivisible, inseparable.
아니 채나서 최념len 시라 나라나
And practice a lot, please.
미모는 시라 펜바시라나
And please benefit a lot of people.
레가 추주 쇼주 셈바세가 레가 쳔버쳔버잖아 쇼주 셈바세
Don't think that bodhisattva work is just some small thing. Bodhisattva work is enormous, it's vast. That's what we do.
데네 오케이 레가 뭐고 연나 레가 대슈레스
And you do a lot of work. That work itself that you are doing is dharma.
치오글레가르와
That is the work of
땡고로도
dharma.
치파레
And
냐네레
that's the same as Ngundro, as the foundational practices. That itself is practice.
오케이
Okay.
땡큐
Thank you, Rinpoche. The revelation that he just had at Wu Taishan, the home of Manjushri in China, that he mentioned to some of you. So these tankas were hung on the walls when he gave all of these teachings and blessings and so on. So they carry a lot of blessings. That's the point. And so maybe we'll just. Oh, for the camera. And Manjushri.
So Manjushri is very, very important now because Rinpoche got a revelation from Manjushri. And he was teaching Manjushri at Wu Taishan. And he will be coming forward slowly with the teachings that were revealed to him from Manjushri. So very, very critical. And he's considered very, very blessed because they were present at many, many teachings, initiations.
Okay.
Just a short aside on Rinpoche. I don't know if it's still the case, but when he first arrived, he pretty much wouldn't sleep, period. And he was either teaching us or talking to us, or he was working the phones on China, helping, setting things up and arranging things. So when he says that, you know, the work of a bodhisattva is vast, it's like, it's actually hard to even keep in mind everything that he's involved with. So it's always an inspiration to be around him. It's quite energizing.
I think you got that. Do you want to just finish?
Hmm?
Want me to finish?
You finish.
Okay. Tara wants to tilt a little bit.
She's
Yeah?
still a little tilted, I
Yeah,
think. That's better.
perfect. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Now she's
Thank
tilting the other way.
Okay, we'll work on it.
She might benefit from 2 hooks, but
Thank you. Okay. So, and dissolving all that, just coming back to this moment right now. Sitting here, feeling your cushion, feeling your seat. Feeling your own breath. Letting other thoughts and concerns, should they arise, just float on by. Unifying with your breath by gently placing your attention on your breath. Resting on your breath. Just feeling the experience of breathing, the freshness coming in. How that feels in your body, really sensing into your bodily sensations. And releasing your breath, the relaxation that is there. We tend to override when we're distracted, but there is relaxation displaying itself in our body with every breath, every exhalation. Just be with that for a few minutes. And just as we began with the intention that our practice be of benefit to all beings, ourselves and all beings. So now we close with that same intention, and we dedicate and we share. And we sing the verse of dedication, and then we'll sing the sharing and lighting the candle. Karen, maybe you could light the candle when we get to that point. And I think we, instead of passing around the book, we'll just have a moment where everyone can just speak the names of particular people that you wish to share the merit with. And then we'll close with our closing ah. Okay. Do you need a...
The dedication on the yellow sheet.
Mm-hmm.
By
This good may I swiftly once become a great guru, lead all beings, everyone, to reach to that very ground. Blessing again, thank you.
with all
Of you in mind we light this lamp of clarity. May the glow of love wisdom shine within us everyone, till we all rise forth born in one enlightened mandala. And in this way we're sending our good wishes to everyone, and particularly to those persons who will take a moment to reflect on right now individually. Persons close to you can whisper or say aloud their name as you wish.
Dave Stevens,
Nam,
Kathy
Susan
Ho.
Lindstetter, Kathy Carr,
Luli,
all Ellen Children, Stephen Tainer, Jules Levinson, Martin and Duarte. And as an expression of that, closing with one final ah, feeling that your positive good wishes for everyone, your mind is unified with this ah, this open sound that goes out to everyone in the room, everyone in Texas, and finally throughout all of space. Thank you all so much for joining us. You're very, very welcome to take this practice home with you. Use it as much as you want. Perhaps even every day, a few moments, being with your breath, maybe sounding hum, maybe sounding ah. Any part of that that can bring you some portal to the present moment of your lives. We have some refreshments. Before
next
I have
Saturday.
to, oh.
Next
go ahead.
Saturday, we will be doing a program at the Rothko Chapel with... 2 weeks? I'm sorry, 2 weeks. Thank you. Don't go there next week. Unless you love art. In 2 weeks, thank you. Love your enemies, your frenemies. Robert Thurman and Sharon Salzberg and Harvey and Ann will all be talking about working with, there are really 4 enemies that they outline, sort of the public enemies that we all know about, that wish to harm us, anger and hate, our sense of kind of being alone and just autonomously individuated, and finally our own feelings of maybe self-loathing or low self-worth, low self-esteem. So it's a very, very interesting idea about what enemies are, and it will be some very, very interesting teachings. It's an interactive workshop, so there'll be some experiential things and conversation and questions. We start our fall course this Tuesday. We're talking about love and compassion and equanimity and joy, and so you're all welcome to that. And we are actually in the middle of a retreat on those very topics, which Anne has a announcement for us since we're broadcasting.
Okay, we will break for lunch. The Nyingtik group, and it means people who attended Lama Tenzin's teaching on the Longchenpa text last year, we will meet, we had said 12:30, but I'm going to move it to 12:40. Okay, so we'll meet at 12:40, and then the retreat. Do they know how to click onto that link?
Well, the part, whatever.
The retreat will be on the next link, part 9, at approximately 1:30 p.m. Houston time. Okay, 1:40. So at 12:40, the Nyingtik people, you will have, we're going to be gathering here and talking, and so that will be broadcast to you.
Here or in the...
In the other room. In the other room, yeah.
And just some forward thinking on October, is it 7th and 8th?
Yes. Oh,
Tuesday
yes.
and Wednesday. We have a guest from Nepal. Gyaltse Rinpoche will be teaching on commentary from Adzom Drukpa on, again, love and compassion. And on October 25th, we'll have another guest from Nepal, Tulku Jigme, who is the grandson of our founding teacher, founding guiding teacher, Ketsun Sangbo. That's a Saturday from 1 to 5. He'll be teaching. And another commentary by Jigme Lingpa on love and compassion. So this semester, it's love and compassion time all the time. And so we're just loving everyone and compassionating like crazy. And so welcome. And do you have anything to add?
I'll say something. Go ahead.
Well, just let you know a little update on our renovation plan. And Harvey and I